This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, Robin, it's been a whole year since the last time we went over to the airport for the Fall Festival Racing for a Cure for Cancer event.
I know, it was fun.
Seems like it was just yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And it's here again. Wow, the year has gone fast. The cutest voice in Ocala is in the studio.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Isn't she wonderful?
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I just want to hear you talk. So have you applied yet for like a voiceover for like Disney or something?
I
like that?
haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Don't you work with Dan Martone?
I do, yes.
He has connections. You haven't asked him?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I should.
You could get a bonus check or something.
That would be amazing.
And joining you, Kyle Van Adda. Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Matt Groh, how are you doing?
Good morning.
You look like Steve Jobs right now. You got that Steve Jobs look on. Just need some glasses or something. So you have another. It's been a whole year already, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wow. How did it go last year? How was it?
It went amazing last year.
And do you remember? I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you remember the figures? Did you raise over $10 anyway?
Yeah, we raised just shy of $5,000.
Wow.
To Racing for Cancer, and I'd
for you.
say there were probably around 3,000 people that came.
3,000, 3,500 maybe.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And we were two of them.
Yes, you were.
We saw a lot of kids there, so I want to make sure that the listeners know this is very fun for the children, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you do to make it fun for the children?
So we have, we encourage them to come dressed up in costume, because it's right before Halloween, so they can put on their Disney princess costumes and, you know, get
Do you have a
some
costume
candy.
on? When
Aw.
No.
You don't do this? Okay.
I
Just
don't,
curious.
no. And we have some games, like some homemade carnival games.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
We've got 3 big double slides, inflatable slides that they can go down.
Wow.
And a few other like inflatable games.
Inflatable games. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should get some of that.
Yeah. I think there's a basketball and
So we have the 3 inflatable slides, double slides. Last year we only had one of them, so we noticed that there was kind of a big line, kind of lining up there. So we have the 3 inflatable slides, we have the 1 basketball toss game, and then from iJump we're also getting this other interactive game that has a soccer game, a football toss, another basketball one, and then I think it's a baseball throw game.
Oh, how fun.
And then we have the same kind of homemade carnival games that were at our first fall festival that our team made.
Mm-hmm.
So
The other fun thing, and this is for children and adults, is just being able to see the planes up close.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is probably the reason I went. I just like it. I couldn't fly. If you ever asked me to fly, that would be the end of your life. Just so you know. Yeah. Wouldn't be able to do it. But it is kind of fun to get that close. And do you have any special planes that will be there?
Yep. So, yes, sir. So I'd say the main attraction this year that we've had confirmed, because I'm still working with the Air Force and with the Navy to get some aircraft out.
Wow.
But the biggest aircraft that we're having arrive is a C-17. So that's going to be a pretty awesome aircraft.
Help me understand what that is.
So a C-17 is a large transport aircraft that the Air Force uses to move assets around. For instance, we had a presidential visit here recently. I'm sure everybody was aware of. So they use that aircraft, the C-17, to move around the presidential Marine One helicopter.
The helicopter was in the plane?
The helicopter was in the
Oh my
aircraft.
gosh!
Just
Really?
to give you an idea of how big that
Wow.
aircraft is. Yeah.
And were the limousines in there too, or no?
On a separate one, but yes, sir.
There could be, huh?
Yep.
That is impressive. So that'll be there. Is it open in the back? Is that how that
I'm not
works?
sure if they're going to open it up. I mean, typically they do.
I would hope that they would.
Yeah, typically they do. When they take them to Sun and Fun, they open them up. So I'm sure they will.
And since this is a working airport, Matt, how did you cordon off a special area for this event?
Well,
good question.
we've worked with Shelter, and there's plenty of ramp space, and our tenants are all in favor of the event. It's a real positive thing for the airport and the community, and they're all working with us. So it's a one-day event, and there'll be plenty of space for the event and plenty of space for normal operations. And what's really neat this year is the people that will arrive will be able to see our new terminal under construction. So everything is taking place on the front side there. Basically, it's a front row seat to all the activity. So all the kids playing toys, the inflatables, all the slides, all that is all airside, and it's right next to the aircraft. So
You're also going to have some kind of emergency vehicles and rescue vehicles there on display?
Yes, ma'am. So OPD is bringing out their MRAP, the SWAT truck again. The Ocala Fire Department is also bringing out their ARF truck. R&L Trucking has they've got a private collection of military vehicles that they're bringing out again too. So a lot of the stuff that was featured at last year's Fall Festival is coming out also. So it's going to be awesome.
When the president arrived a week ago or so, a lot of our listeners went out to that, and they called in the next day talking about the new terminal. So,
Oh, really?
So I wasn't clear if it was finished or not, but it sounds like it's not yet finished, huh?
no, it's we'll get the building turned over to the airport probably mid-January, and then we figure it's going to take about 30 days to put it out to sea trials and move in and just make sure all the systems function, and then we'll be officially open to the public in mid-February.
Okay,
is
so
what I'm thinking.
I think we talked about this when you were here before, Matt, but the rumor that there will be more like a jet service or something to Orlando anyway, or to Atlanta, still not in the works?
No, nothing in the works on that.
Yeah, just because I know we had those calls. Yeah, it's getting all set up. We're going to have planes.
No, it's common misconception. No, this is a general aviation terminal, and I mean, it's still open to the public, but we just don't have scheduled airline service out of it.
Another unique facet of this event is that you're going to be raising funds and awareness for Racing for Cancer.
Explain what that is about.
Yep. So Racing for Cancer, it's a 501c3 organization that was started in 2010 by 2012 IndyCar champion Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Oh, wow.
And it was started after his mother passed away in 2009. So the organization is focused on early prevention for all cancer. It also helps out with cancer specifically in children too. So that's what the organization is that we partnered up with, and Shelter's partnered up with. 100% of the proceeds go to Racing for Cancer, at least from our perspective. The vendors, we're going to have vendors come out there as well.
Okay.
The way how that works is vendors are charged a $100 entry fee. Anything that they make goes to them, but as far as them getting in there, they are charged a $100 entry fee. Same thing with food vendors.
So do we need to ask for vendors? Or
Yes.
you're all filled up?
So yes, we are still taking applications for vendors. The way how they fill out the application is they go to our Facebook page, our event page. It's Ocala Airport Fall Festival. They just put that into a Facebook search engine. On there is the survey that they'd have to fill out. So everybody is paying an entry fee to get in that is selling anything, and that's how
That makes
they
sense.
contribute.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're trying to raise money.
But for the general public, it is a free event, except if you have children that want to participate in the games and things. That way, they do have an armband fee.
Yes. So the wristbands are $3, and that gets you unlimited play on the slides, all the inflatables, all the little homemade games. We're also going to have 2 face painters out there this year.
Oh, wonderful.
I know last year we only had 1, and there was a super long line.
I bet. Yeah.
Really popular.
It was very, very popular because that's included in the $3 fee as well.
Okay.
So we'll have 2 of them out there that will do, like a little something on their cheek or whatever.
Yeah.
You do encourage families and children to wear costumes?
Yes, yeah. Family friendly. It is a family event, so family friendly costumes, and kids can come out. And,
Not the Joker. I can't come as the Joker. You don't want that, right?
Probably not.
I'm just teasing. He just doesn't look like a happy character to me.
Yeah, no. Kind of scary.
Doesn't look happy.
Yeah.
So tell me, is there anything we can do to help you? Do you need prizes for the games, that kind of thing?
Yes, we're also doing a raffle. The other way that we raise money is by selling raffle tickets.
Okay.
We've gone to local businesses in the area, and they have been gracious enough to donate some items for us.
Nice.
We've got Chuck E. Cheese, Easy Street. They're both donating like a family pack.
Oh.
Dillard's is going to do a gift basket. We got Target to donate a $50 gift card.
Nice.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so just items that we can raffle off, and again, 100% of the proceeds go to Racing for Cancer.
And will you have an MC at the event, or how will the raffles work? Is it going to be like a silent auction, or just a raffle if you buy a ticket?
Yeah, so they'll buy a ticket, and then they'll give us their name and their phone number, and then after the event, I'll pull everybody, and then I'll call everybody that wins.
So the event we're talking about is October 26th, right, which is a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the Ocala Airport, and it runs from 11 a.m. till 4, according to my notes, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So you just pull up, park, and go in there. And what is cool, when we mentioned the airplanes, and Robin mentioned the fact that the airport is open, you get to see the airplanes coming and going, right?
Yes, sir.
Do the pilots have to know that there's an event going on, or is that not even necessary for them?
So we've reached out to a couple of people at Leeward Air Ranch. We're working with the EAA, and they have a couple of friends that have some pretty interesting aircraft. I haven't received confirmation as to which aircraft in particular are going to show up, so it's going to be kind of fluid, So we're going to work with the tower and open up certain taxiways to let them know, okay, you guys are associated with the Ocala Airport Fall Festival. You guys will taxi into the static display area, and then you guys are just going to the FBO. You guys will taxi into, the normal operations area.
So Kyle's been throwing a lot of acronyms out there.
Sorry.
Yes.
For the regular radio public.
I just
So an FBO stands for Fixed Based Operator. It's an FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, has come up with this name, and basically it's a gas station for airplanes. That's what FBO is. And then I think you also mentioned the ARF truck. That's Airport Rescue.
Thank you. Yeah.
Vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I figured I'd go back to Google later on. And go
Yeah. So the ARF truck's going to be there, and it's an awesome piece of firefighting equipment. It's an E1 product. It's only 1 year old. It's almost brand new.
Oh, wow.
And so
Looks
that'll
like
be
a
out
monster
there.
truck.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
it's super
Yeah.
cool.
I have a question completely aside from the event, but there was an airplane that landed in Ocala Airport. I think maybe even a year ago. That was the first commercial aircraft, correct? Wasn't there an
Oh,
airplane?
the Ford Trimotor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Trimotor.
Yeah, that is
flying
it,
around.
right? Is that going to be there?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
But I did hear rumor that it might be here sometime early next year.
Oh, fabulous.
Okay, so
That's my teaser.
all right, so I'm going to tell you something and then ask you, because this sounds like we've got two people vying for the same title. So that airplane says it's the first commercial aircraft, right? We went to St. Petersburg, right?
Yeah.
Right by the pier. You know what I'm talking about?
Janice Landing.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
So which is true? Who gets the credit for the first commercial airplane?
I believe it's Janice.
Oh, you think they win, huh?
Yeah, I do.
But it looked like it only
do.
had one passenger.
It still counts.
Yeah.
But and I can't remember the name of the airplane, but that's St. Pete's claim to fame.
So when you go into that little tiny museum where they have all the baseballs, have you ever been in there?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, they got baseballs by everybody. You know?
It's called
Yeah.
the mini Cooperstown. So they've got everything that Cooperstown has.
Okay, it's on my list.
Smaller,
And-
yeah, it's great.
And why it has the airplane there, I don't know. But it has that, I guess, a replica of that airplane hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, with two guys that look like the Wright brothers to me.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
But, yeah.
So when if people are interested in becoming pilots, there's also going to be a vendor there for the people to talk to them to see if they want to sign up for lessons and that type of thing?
Yes, ma'am. So we're working closely with Ocala Aviation Services, which is the flight school on the field, and really without them, without their help, this wouldn't come together, because we're using the area where they park their flight school aircraft. So they're going to help us out by relocating their flight school aircraft for this event. But yes, they are going to have representatives there with one of their school planes open, so kids can sit in there.
Oh,
and,
nice.
take some
That's
pictures.
fun, yeah.
But yes, they will be there, so they can talk to anybody who wants to maybe get some flight lessons and become a pilot.
So there's Ocala Aviation, there's Shelter, there's the airport itself, and the fueling company is a separate business, right?
Shelter.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So how many businesses actually are on that property?
There's quite a few.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just businesses that are open to the public, or just flight operations, like Florida Division of Forestry is out there with their helicopters.
Oh, really?
We have Fish and Wildlife is out there from a aerial law enforcement perspective. The sheriff is out there with their air unit. Hertz Avis Enterprise are their car rental companies. Quest Avionics is out there.
What do they do, Quest?
So avionics is basically radios for airplanes and navigational equipment, and they'll fix your radios and, and do all that kind of work. Installations, new installations, upgrades, and whatnot. They've been on the airport for decades. They've been there for a long time. And then, of course, Ocala Aviation, and there's a whole bunch of other flight departments that support non-aviation businesses in and around Ocala and Marion County that are out there as well.
It's amazing, plus the restaurant, right?
Well, actually, you know what? The restaurant, we're in a transition right now.
Oh, they're not there now?
Not anymore. They've transitioned away from the airport because of the new terminal project. We've got restaurant space there, and we're in negotiations with a restaurant operator currently, and the existing restaurant didn't want to move into the new place, so there is a transition there, and they found a new location. I don't know exactly where it is, but they're operating now off the airport.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Probably, I want to say, probably March or April, the new restaurant will be in operation. It'll be twice as big as what we have now, and there could be an outdoor, I guess, portion of the restaurant, so you can eat outside right next to the
wonderful.
airplanes. Yeah, we're really excited.
This is cool. I love this.
Yeah, and it's forward progress. Unfortunately, we don't have a restaurant out there now. So.
Do you know, the cool thing is you can just serve plain food and everybody will be happy. I have a dumb question, and everybody's going to say, I can't believe you don't know this, but I don't really know what Shelter does. What do you guys actually do? Are you an airline?
They're the FBO.
Yeah.
You are the FBO.
No, so Shelter is an FBO. So we have three different departments. Shelter is a construction company, a property management company, and we also have FBOs. Nicole and I work in the FBO side, FBO operations side. So we provide concierge services, fuel, and we also provide hangar space to customers. The property side, they manage aviation-related office spaces. They manage the hangars, and that's essentially what the property side does. Then we have the construction department of Shelter. What they do is they build hangars, aviation-related office spaces, and Shelter. That's all under the Shelter umbrella.
Is there a hangar, is that the right word for the building, that actually used to be over where Target is now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the whole airport used to be over.
I know, but of all the things
Taylor Field,
the
right?
physical things, I mean, yeah. So which one is that? Can you help us? Is it the one that looks like it's old?
Well, yeah, with it, yes.
I don't mean bad. I don't mean bad shape. I mean it still has that old design.
It actually helped us out here recently. It's where Ocala Aviation and Quest Avionics is based out of. It's an old Quonset hut hangar. It's part of Shelter's leasehold. They were. When did they move that hangar? Was it 1929? They didn't move it in 1929, but I think it was built in 1929. Is that when it was?
Late 20s, early 30s is when it was built. It was moved from the old airport to the new airport back around 1962.
How do you move something like that?
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Same way they moved the London Bridge to Arizona?
Yeah, or the Ma Barker house. Although that was on a barge.
Gosh,
That was on a barge. They pick it up.
Barker House.
Yeah. Well, they just moved a house downtown.
A block or two.
A block or two.
Yeah,
They picked the whole thing up and
Oh,
So that's
for
what
the
they
new
did?
charter school.
Yep.
That's how they moved the hangar? Really?
Yeah, they picked it up, put it on a trailer, and in the middle of the night they just
Holy cow.
slow
It's
crawling.
amazing.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So when people in their private planes come flying in and they're going to visit our area for a while, how do you coordinate the landing of their plane with whatever vehicles need to pick up the passengers to take to their other destinations? How do you do that in advance?
So typically the crew or a flight department calls in to the FBO, to our side. They call the customer service representative that works up at the front counter, and they call and they just coordinate a rental car, or sometimes customers have personal vehicles up at the front counter, and we coordinate with Hertz, our preferred vendor, or Avis or Enterprise, whoever they choose, and we bring that rental car out plane side and give them the red carpet treatment, and they're on their way. And while they're gone, we take care of the crew, the aircraft. So if they request hangar space, we'll put them in the hangar. We uplift fuel, and sometimes we get them hotel reservations if that's what they need. Catering reservations, take care of their linens, clean their dishes. But it's a full service operation.
That's very cool.
Concierge service, basically.
Concierge,
okay.
exactly.
Whatever they need, we do.
And it's not only private aviation too. We take care of military. We take care of commercial. I don't want to say commercial flights, but commercial style airliners. So, for instance, what was it? This past Friday, Auburn flew in to the airport. So we had a 737 land, which is what
Delta charter.
A Delta charter.
Gosh.
Yeah, correct. So we have belt loaders and bag carts, and we can handle airliners that size. During the Hurricane Dorian relief, Aerobridge came out there with some volunteers from Meadowbrook Church, and
wow.
they used our facilities for the Hurricane Dorian relief. So it's not just private aviation. It extends out into
That's really cool.
military and
So to
commercial
bring the
stuff.
conversation back to the October event, the fundraiser, when we go out to the airport, in addition to the fun things that you have for the kids, I think all of those other things you've just talked about are very interesting to the rest of us. Because we know we have an airport in Ocala, we just don't know all of those little things about it, So,
So it gives people a chance to see it.
Yeah,
They get to
yeah,
actually be, ramp side, plane side. So they kind of get to see our world a little.
And will it be handicapped accessible and are service dogs allowed?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
So the third annual Ocala Airport Fall Festival Racing for a Cure for Cancer event, presented by Shelter, is that fair to say? You guys
sir.
are the ones doing it? In cooperation with Ocala International Airport Authority and participating airport tenants, is hosting the airport's third annual Ocala Airport Fall Festival Saturday, October 26th from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. at the Ocala Airport. If you don't know where it is, just look for where planes are landing.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how I always find airports. There, I must be heading in the right direction, right?
Will the attendees get to meet you, Matthew, and also Shelter representatives
I'll be there.
on that day?
Be there.
Be
Yeah.
there.
So tell me about last year. You had a good crowd.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of people asking about? Is the medical people? Will the medical people be there for the cancer kind of questions, or?
This year I don't think we will have somebody there.
Okay.
That's something that we're trying to do for next year, is have somebody from the
American Cancer
Yes.
Society?
Okay.
from
Racing
the
for
Racing
Cancer.
from Cancer. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
There to kind of be there and help answer questions. And
So go out and a wristband costs how much?
$3.
$3.
Only $3.
But entry is totally free, so
Right.
you can come out and look at the aircraft, walk through Vendor Village, and have that experience.
But if we buy a hot dog, we're contributing to the cause, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making it worth their while to be there.
And what is the phone number they can call for more vendors, or if they have any items that they would like to donate for your raffle?
So if they call the phone number, they're just going to get directed to our Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So if they go onto
okay,
Facebook
okay.
and type in Ocala Airport Fall Festival, there's going to be a survey on there that they can fill out. And once we take a look at the survey, make sure that we don't have, 4 or 5 of the same types of vendors, out there, then we'll go ahead and approve them.
Imagine that, just all cotton candy.
Yeah, exactly.
All different colors.
Matt Groh, good to see you again.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming in. Kyle Van Atta, thank you for
Yes,
coming
sir.
in.
It was a pleasure.
And the cutest voice in America, Nicole Kennedy, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. With American troops now pulled back, it's the second day of a Turkish military offensive in northern Syria.
109 terörist öldürüldü.
Turkey's president claiming 109 militants, meaning Kurds, have been killed so far. And Recep Tayyip Erdogan is angrily rejecting international criticism of the attack.
Ey Avrupa Birliği!
Addressing European countries who've condemned the incursion, he said, pull yourself together.
Fox's Simon Owen. A Texas mass shooting suspect appears in court today to enter a plea.
Prosecutors say 21-year-old Patrick Crusius opened fire at a Walmart in El Paso, killing 22 people and injuring 26 others. Federal authorities call the August 3rd mass shooting domestic terrorism, an offense prosecutors say is deserving of the death penalty.
Fox's Carmen Roberts. America's listening to Fox News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-430-3134. 800-430-3134. That's 800-430-3134.